Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 3, Episode 24, Dinosaur Scene in Sewers. Definitely a cool episode. We got the Triceratons in here, which I can only, just barely remember from the 2003 version. As, honestly, one image in my head, a still image, which I may have seen just looking for thumbnails for, previous seasons of this version of Ninja Turtles. But we get the Triceratons in this episode, or at least one, we get Zog. And it was pretty cool, and I kind of remembered them being good guys. I thought the Triceratons, or at least Zog, one of the main ones, ended up becoming a part of the Mighty Mutanimals, which I could be wrong on. There's obviously so much lore for Ninja Turtles. Some stuff I might just be mixing up, but I was excited to see this. I was like, this is really awesome. I was very curious because I forgot the actual lore of the Triceratons. So I was like, I wonder how this makes sense, that there's dinosaurs. And it was pretty cool. We got to see the Mutanimals, at least two of them. We got to see Slash and the Doctor, and that was pretty cool. That was very surprising. It started off with them. I'm pretty sure it started off with them. So that was a nice little surprise, very, minor surprise. And I'm pretty sure Zog does end up joining them. But that was a nice little surprise. That was pretty cool. We got to see Slash actually get taken down, which was pretty interesting. That's something you don't get to see, and we got this really awesome character who, I feel like Zog, as far as power goes, is almost at the level of Shredder, but it's just from being basically a full-on dinosaur. It's not from the ninja training or anything. He's just built like that. He's even tougher than Slash, and it's just who knows how he would really do against Leatherhead. That might be a different story, but as far as Slash goes, he took him down. It was he charged him, and that was pretty much it. Slash was done for. So I liked the action and how he was a very heavy-handed character, especially during that ending fight scene against the Turtles. He's dodging and grabbing the weapons, and when he whipped Mikey up in the air, and then he slammed him on top of Leo. Stuff like that was really cool, and just him, of course, him fighting the Kraang. I think there were two separate scenes where he basically just ate the Kraang. He was just eating the parts and just ripping them apart. He squished one after it came out of the body. He flat out crushed it. I did love the scene when they were in the Statue of Liberty though, and he beat up all those Kraang and he was eating them, and the one that had the little staff stopped and put it behind its back, and he was Kraang, and he was just and he just, all you see is the head get smashed. I thought that was a really funny scene, but that was really awesome. It was really cool. Them having this character who, it's it was sort of an enigma. It was just he's just here. He's going against the Kraang. Alright, instant good guy. The Kraang are coming back into play, which was very interesting. And I think I got a glimpse of that because the season finale is already up, and I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to watch it right now because I'm actually going off to, Salt Lake City Comic-Con, very soon, in a couple hours I'm leaving, so I'm trying to get in my last couple of reviews, because I'm basically going to be gone the whole week, and I wish I'd seen this episode if I was home, because I found out that the finale was online over the weekend. I just went on Nick.com, I wonder if I can watch this episode, and I saw the finale, but this episode right here wasn't online yet, and I was if they didn't do that, I'd watch the finale. And of course, it was I don't want to skip the episode before. It's the season finale, so of course the episode right before would have to be a part of the main story. And of course, if I did skip to the finale, I would have missed this amazing episode. And I'm sure that, it would have been an insane loss, but I would have missed something fairly crucial, I feel personally. And I'm sure Zog is going to come back in the finale. I'm sure he's back. So, I would have just missed his introduction. I would have missed certain stuff like that. I would have missed the cool cameo by the Mutanimals. I would have missed sort of their seasonal practice, which is ending the series, the cartoon series that they have inside of the show. Every season we get the finale, and this time we actually got the finale of Kragnar, and they hated the ending, and that was pretty funny. He just dies in the ending. It was all right, let's go. And then he just got eaten. And then they had like the grossest noises. He was like getting squished and stuff. I was like, the noises are actually pretty messed up. Like he's being like full on digested and eaten. And then the dragon flies off into the sky, and it's like, that's the end of the show. And I don't know if that symbolizes something, because normally the series don't really symbolize anything as far as the finales go. Like certain episodes do, when they had the initial show, which was like their anime show. I think the Voltron thing was. I'm pretty sure that was their first show. I can't even remember what the middle show was before they got the basically Conan the Barbarian, because they had Conan, they had Voltron, and I'm trying to remember what the third cartoon was, but I can't. Maybe there really were only two, and they ended. No, there's a third one. I just can't remember what it was. I remember that's what they ended in the forest, and technically I think that was early in this season, but obviously with the hiatus and all that stuff, it was basically a year later anyway by the time they finished that, so it kind of worked out. But we got the ending of the show, so next season we're gonna get our new mini series within it. The other one was Star Trek. That's what it was. It was Voltron, Star Trek, and then Conan the Barbarian. And I'm pretty sure Voltron actually. Well, I really can't remember the order of those things. Maybe Voltron was the first one, but anyway, they ended the series in this, so we're gonna get another clear reference, and I'm actually kind of excited. I'd love to see if it was maybe Star Wars. That would kind of be very appropriate with Episode 7 coming out later this year, but whatever it's going to be, I'm sure it'll be funny. It'll still have, like, Robin from Teen Titans, because for anyone who doesn't know, I think he's been in all three of the mini cartoons. He was definitely, I think he was the blue character in Voltron. He was, like, the little alien thing in the Conan one, which is also a mixture. It was Conan and He-Man mixed together, really. But he was like the little creature, whatever it was called, like Squeech or whatever it is. So that was him, like Robin from Teen Titans Go, or the regular Teen Titans, because everyone prefers to just go with that. So I'm excited to see what little mini series we get that references whatever, old TV franchise or movie franchise. Of course, I'm excited for season 4. I'm excited to see the finale, whether I watch it tonight or next week. I'd love to do it tonight just because it would be more current instead of, having to wait until next week to do it. But either way, this was definitely a really good episode. It was a really fun action episode. I think one of the greatest things about it was just some of the cool action. We got to see Raph in his alternate costume, which is always really fun, especially since we don't see them utilize that nearly enough. Like, they had it, they did the forest thing, beautiful, beautiful episode, and then we just never get to see them do their alternate costumes anymore. We got to see it, I don't think we got to see it until now. I think there was one other episode since they got back where, once again, it was only one of the turtles was in, like, their forest costume. So I'm glad we got to see that again. I mentioned this before when they were doing the time travel stuff. I wished we got the alternate costumes then, because it made perfect sense, because that was like their nature forest thing, and they were in Japan, like in the forest. But instead we got their Dungeons and Dragons cosplay. So it was like still funny, but we don't get to see their alternates nearly enough. But I like this episode. I am excited for the finale. We get Triceratons coming in. Based on the preview, it seems like one of the Kraang, at least, ends up working with the turtles. Because there's a scene with the turtles, Casey and April. And then there's a Kraang bot. So, I don't know what that means. Like, the Triceratons might end up being worse than the Kraang. But they know the threat of the Kraang. Like, that's why they're trying to wipe out Earth. Because the Kraang are actually able to spread on Earth. So, they feel they need to destroy the whole planet so the Kraang can't do anything. But I like this episode. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought about it, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And, odds are, if you're watching this, you haven't seen the finale, or you're just checking it out. Either way, thank you. But I want to know what your expectations were for the season finale based on this episode. And, of course, what you guys thought of the Triceraton introduction into this version of Ninja Turtles, because we've gotten some really big Ninja Turtle storylines for this season, as well as late last season. And we've had very minor spiritual stuff like astral projection stuff, the healing hands thing. We've gotten some of those points. We're getting full on like other alien races, not just the Kraang. Because the Kraang coming in, it's like, well, the Kraang are like Foot Clan Kraang. It's almost like they're basically not even an alien race when it's the Kraang, because it's like, yeah, it's the Kraang. They're like Foot Ninja #1. Kraang is like 1.2. Like, they aren't like the next step or anything. It's like they're just the enemies. Those are always the enemies. But now we're getting another alien race coming in. They're not mutated. It's a full-on extra alien race outside of the Kraang. And it's a full-on armada coming down, to destroy Earth. So I'm really excited for it. Not sure if I end up reviewing that or not right now. I might save it because I'll actually get the chance to watch it on Sunday, even though I still won't get to review it until next Monday. That way I can at least get 2 separate shows in. But either way, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, as well as, your expectations, whether you've seen the finale already or not, which most likely you already have, but what your expectations were and what you thought of the Triceraton introduction. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.